We can't overestimate the importance of design versus mere planning. If you only know the land use or the density or the setbacks or the required number of parking spaces, you simply won't know whether a development is good for the neighborhood or bad. Look at these two places. The density, the lot size, the land use, they're all exactly the same. But where would you prefer to live? Where would you prefer to walk? The design is even more crucial than those numbers. The character of a street scene comes from the building-to-street relationships, from the landscape, the shape and quality of the public spaces, and the texture and proportions of the architecture. If your little lot or your parcel presents a blank wall or the back of house or a parking lot as it's faced toward the public realm, that's going to make you and everybody else less likely to walk or bike or use transit, so your small decisions have regional implications. And everybody will be mad at you about it. Design simply matters, and that's number 2 on my list of town planning stuff everyone needs to know. For more information, check out the Dover Coal YouTube channel or dovercoal.com, or read the charter of the New Urbanism. Part of the convenience and functionality of traditional towns comes from their mix of land uses. Instead of pushing the needs of daily life farther apart from one another, as became common in the suburban zoning experiment after World War II, the time-tested way of building towns is to deliberately bring a range of human activities closer together. That way, you can find many of the things you need right in your neighborhood, within walking distance. For example, you might be able to walk from your home to a corner store or to a cafe without having to drive there and then search for a parking space there. Just a little bit of mixed use brings a great many benefits. For example, some trips out on the regional road network get shortened, others get eliminated, captured within the neighborhood, and still others become feasible for walking, biking, or transit. All of that helps manage regional traffic. Plus, with those shorter trips, you'll lower everyone's carbon footprint. But that's not all. Mixed land uses allow for flexibility, letting the market drive the mix. That, in turn, also supports the adaptive reuse of beloved historic buildings, extending their lifetime. Next, live-work combinations allow for a better jobs-housing balance. And above all, in a mixed-use neighborhood, you're simply more likely to get to know your neighbors and support local businesses. For all of these reasons, mixed-use neighborhoods are incredibly popular with both households and employers. Mixed land uses. It's number 7 on my list of town planning stuff everyone needs to know. For more information, visit the Dover Coal YouTube channel, check out dovercoal.com, or read The New Urbanism by Peter Katz. All the best towns are walkable. Designed for pedestrian safety and comfort can't be an afterthought, considered, if at all, only after all of the automobile-related decisions are already made. So we start with walkability as a baseline, and then work our way out to all the other considerations. The streets that work best are more than mere transportation corridors. They're addresses, places where people want to be. Great streets come in all shapes and sizes, and an immense variety is possible. But we find there are 5 basic features always present in people-first streets. Features that dependably attract people on foot. Features you can demand in your town. First, they're shaped. The street space is like a public room, with the roadway and sidewalk its floor and the buildings its walls, and sometimes its ceiling, formed by the tree canopy. Second, they're comfortable. In most climates, that means shaded in the summer. Street trees and architectural elements like porches, arcades, and awnings moderate the elements. Third, they're connected. The streets that feel like people habitat are usually hooked into the larger network, linked to the rest of the town. Next, they're safe. That means you aren't stressed out about getting run over by a vehicle, and you have what Jane Jacobs once called eyes on the street. The street isn't faced by blank walls, but by doors and windows and porches and balconies and storefronts. Last, the streets where people really like to be are memorable. They make lasting impressions because beauty surrounds us and human creativity is on display in architecture and art and signs and landscape design. Walkable street design. It's number 9 on my list of town planning stuff everyone needs to know. For more information, check out the Dover Cole YouTube channel or dovercole.com. Or read the book John Massengale and I co-wrote, Street Design, The Secret to Great Cities and Towns.